welcome back to English for You video series, and today I'm here with a different topic, and it's neither language nor literature that I'm going to teach you today. Today we will talk about whether it is possible to obtain 80 marks out of 80 or at least 76, 77, 78 marks out of 80 in CBSE 10 English exams, the board exams that you're going to write in nearly in a month. And whenever I go to students, whenever I meet them, this question is sure to be popped up or thrown at me. And that is, sir, can we obtain 80 marks out of 80 in the board exams in English? And I don't answer them immediately because I don't have the answer. I simply want to tell them that English is nothing like science or maths, nor is it like social science, where marks are not deducted on the basis of your language errors. If the facts are right, you get the full marks. But in English, which is a language in itself, there are several criteria upon which you can lose marks. The very first one is your spelling errors. The second one might be the sentence structure related flaws. The third one might be your content is not sufficient enough to fetch you full marks. So there are several criteria. So therefore, it's better to try for 76 or 77 or might be 78 marks out of 80. That is more practical and practicable too. But I never mean to say achieving 80 out of 80 is impossible or very difficult. People have got it in past. If you want to aim for it, go for it. No issues. It's good. But for most of the students, it's good to target 76, 77, 78, and if in the process you get 80, good, it's a bonus. So, before we proceed further and discuss the strategies that are, if implemented correctly, can fetch you very good marks in English, let us just understand one thing. That what CBSE wants to see when they put the question paper in front of us for a test. They don't want to see whether we have become a scholar of English language or literature. No, it's not that purpose. The only purpose is to see whether you have acquired the working knowledge of English or not. So if whenever you read something, do you understand it properly? And if you understand it, are you capable of reaching at a conclusion, proper logical conclusion? And the third thing, whether you are capable of expressing yourself in English perfectly. So that's what they want to see. And that's what we should keep in mind when we start preparing for the English exam. Okay, and since this topic is not so small, if we talk about this in a single video, it would take around 30 to 40 minutes. So I decided I should talk about it in two sections, in two videos. In the first one, I would focus on part A, which is the objective portion, which is of 40 marks. And in the second one, we would talk about the subjective portion, which is part B, which is also of 40 marks. So let us today talk about part A, which is of 40 marks. Part A. In part A, we get three things. The very first thing, the passages, two passages there. The second one, literature. And the third thing we get is grammar. So we will discuss them one by one. Two passages are there. The very first one is discursive. The second one you find is factual. Now you may ask me a question. What is a discursive passage? A discursive passage is a bit of freedom-giving passage. The writer has the freedom to jump from one point to another. He is not restricted. He may be expressing views upon different things, different opinions, different kind of things he may be saying in the passage. That is discursive passage, loosely bound. And the second one is a factual one. Factual means based upon facts. So in both the passages, you are tested for two different things. In the first one, you are tested for whether you can understand what you read and whether you can reach a conclusion properly. In the second one, you are just tested to see whether you can keep the facts in mind while answering the questions, and the second one, whether you can infer or derive something out of those facts or data given to you. So in the factual one, you may be given some data in the form of a table or might be a pie chart or any other kind of chart that you have to relate with the passage given and derive some kind of conclusion or some infer something out of it, then answer the questions. So through both the passages, they want to achieve two different aims. And both the passages, they have 10 questions of 1 mark each. So 10 into 1, 10. And again, this 10 into 1, 10. In total, you have got 20 marks. Now the next question that comes easily to us is how much time we should allocate to part A. The whole question paper, it is of 3 hours. We should take 3 hours, or we have to answer all the questions in 3 hours. So how much we should give to part A? I've researched a bit. I've talked to many students and I've reached this conclusion that allocating 60 to 70 minutes is quite enough and quite good. 60 to 70 minutes. You may take more or less, that depends upon you, your strategy, your preparation, your practice, everything. But for an average student, it's good to take 60 to 70 minutes and try to finish the whole portion, part A, in a beautiful way, perfect way, without committing any error or committing as few errors as possible. Fine. So for passages now, there are 2 passages of 20 marks, 10 each. How much time we should give to it? Ideally, we should give 40 minutes to the passages. Out of 70, 40 minutes can be given to the passages. Okay, why 40 minutes? There are several reasons I just suggest this. See, actually, you may take 10 minutes to read the first passage and the other 10 to answer. The same will follow in the second one, 10 minutes for reading and another 10 to answer all the questions. You may ask me, can we finish reading the question in the whole passage in 10 minutes? Yes, we can. And we don't have to read the entire passage in 10 minutes. The 10 minutes are given to you to possibly read the passage twice. Yes. Now I'm coming to the point how we should attempt these passages so that we can answer all the questions with zero error. There are 2 strategies we can adopt here. The very first one, read the passage fast, very quickly. Then read the answers. Then read the questions. While reading the questions, don't forget to keep the keywords, the main words of the questions in mind. And having finished reading the questions, again come back to the passage and read it. So in the first reading, it should take around 3 to 4 minutes. Then 1 or 2 minutes you should take to read all the questions, 10 questions. Then 6 minutes should be given to read the passage in a better way. And if having read it first time and then having a look at the questions with the keywords in mind, if you read the passage the second time, you will find it very easy. All the answers will be revealed to you and you will see them. Oh, this answer is here, this answer is here. I can easily take it out. And you find it quite easy to attempt all the questions with almost 100% correctness. And this applies to both the sections. Yeah, in the second one you have been given or you will be given some data also in the form of charts or tables or whatever. So you have to relate the data with whatever is written in the passage, then reach to an inference or just infer some conclusion, and then you have to take it out. Okay, so ideally 10 minutes should be given to read the passages or each passage, and then 10 minutes should be given to answer the 10 questions that follow. You may ask me, sir, those questions can be answered in 3 to 4 minutes. Good, you can. But this time onwards, CBSE has changed their strategy, and the questions are not as simple that you read the facts in the passage and tick it. it's done. No. This time they would want you to read the passage, understand it properly, reach to a conclusion, and then tick the right answers. Because the questions are going to be tricky a bit. They will not be asked in a very straightforward way, so that you read the question, read the passage. Oh, here is the answer. Now tick it out. A, B, C. Fine. The same pattern is there, but it demands you to read it, understand it, okay, reach to a conclusion, and then answer the questions in a correct way. So while working on the passages, you should spend 40 minutes out of the 70 that you have allocated for the whole portion A, part A. And out of the 40 minutes, 20 you can give to each of the passages. And out of the 20, 10 minutes for reading once or twice, and 10 minutes for answering the questions, okay, with a peaceful mind, without getting digressed or impatient or too excited about it. Fine. So preparing the right strategy, then being consistent about practicing it. These are the two keys to tick all the answers correctly when it comes to passages. Now, I would like to go to the second portion, which is literature. How are we tested in the objective portion in literature? There are two passages, two extracts you can say. In prose section, you have got one extract, which is extract 1. In poetry section 2, you get another extract, extract, and that is extract 2. In each one, you get 5 questions of 1 mark each. So 5 in total. 5 in total. So you have 10 marks. Okay, so you have 10 marks. If you include both the passages, 10 marks out of both the extracts, not the passages. Now, how should we attempt these extracts? And let me make one thing very, very clear to you. That if you think that just reading the extract will help you answer all the questions with ease, okay, you can effortlessly tick all the answers correctly, then you are mistaken. The questions are going to be asked in such a way that the extract becomes a door to entire chapter. So it's much better to read the chapter in a good way, okay, thrice, 4 times, might be 5 times, understand the content or story or whatever, then just think through it and just find out what is the theme or the themes that the chapter is dealing with. So reading the chapter well, understanding the theme or the themes can help you answer all the questions in a very easy way. Okay, so if you think you just should read the extract only and answer all the questions in a jiffy, it's not going to be. You'll be surprised to find that they're going to test you a bit. You have to think, just prepare an opinion or reach a conclusion, then you will be able to answer all the questions in a perfect way. So that's what you have to do with the second section, which is literature. And in literature objective part, just one book is there, that is First Flight. They are not asking any question from Footprints Without Feet. So from the prose section, from the poetry section, First Flight, you will you will have the questions, and it's easy to answer them if you have read them thoroughly and understood the theme. My suggestion is find out the theme or themes involved, then write them down. And I would advise you to read the stories or the poems and try to write what they mean or what they say in your own words. It means you should have a brief summary of all the chapters written in your own words, and that's going to help you in a very big way. You will find it has become very easy to answer the questions which are based upon the extracts, and extracts are simply a door through which you enter the entire chapter. The question may not be directly from the extract. The extract may be simply referring to it. So to answer a particular question that is not directly related to the extract, may be referred through it to the chapter, you have to understand the entire chapter, then answer all the questions. So this is what you should do while you are dealing with the literature portion, which is of 10 marks. Okay, 10 questions, 5 from the prose extract and 5 from the poetry one. So 10 in total, and that's how you should prepare for it. Okay, then let me come to the third portion or the third section, which is grammar. Let me clean the board. Then I would talk about how we should go about grammar, which is also very, very important. And just because of the corona scare this year and because of the reduced academic months or academic time, they have already omitted 3 or I think 2 or 3 chapters from grammar, like clauses are already gone, voices too have been omitted, prepositions also are not there. So I think just 3 or 4 chapters are there, like we have the reported speech, we have subject verb agreement, we have tenses, we have model auxiliaries, and we have determiners, like 3-4 chapters are there. So this time it is less burdensome. You can easily read all the chapters, understand the concepts. Okay, it's not necessary to mug up the rules. Mugging up the rules is not the way to handle grammar, because it's not going to help you much. So better read the chapters, the grammatical rules that are applied, and then try to understand how these rules are applied in writing or in framing sentences. See, now onwards, the CBSE is going to focus on whether you can apply or you're in a position to apply the rules that you have learned in a particular chapter. So this is what you have to keep in mind. And when we talk about grammar, there are just 3-4 chapters are there. And question number 5, question number 6, and question number 7. These are the 3 questions which talk about grammar. In question number 5, we generally come for determiners, or you may say models, etc. Models, etc. Okay. In question number 6, here you find the reported speech. And in question number 7, you are tested for subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. So these are the 3 areas you are tested in when you attempt these 3 questions. Question number 5, question number 6, question number 7. When we talk about reported speech, they want to see, there is a dialogue kind of thing, 3-4 lines, and based upon that dialogue there is a passage kind of thing having 3 or 4 blanks, generally 3 blanks, and they want to see whether you can transform the dialogue which is in direct speech into indirect one. And while transforming from direct to indirect, you have to understand a few things, like you have to understand the sequence of tenses. Sequence of tenses. When I say sequence of tenses, what do I mean? See, you must have read it in your grammar books that there are 2 kinds of clauses. Okay, the first one is dependent one, second one is independent one. Or there is the principal clause or the main clause, and then there is subordinate clause, or more than one subordinate clauses. So especially it is about complex sentences in which you have one main clause and another or other subordinate clause or clauses. So there is a rule regarding that. If the main verb in the principal clause is in present tense or future tense, the verbs in the subordinate clause or clauses may be in any tense as required, maybe in present tense, maybe in past tense, maybe in future tense. But if the main verb in the main clause or the finite verb in the main clause is in past tense, it is mandatory for the verbs of all the subordinate clauses to be in past itself. For example, when I say Ravi said that he will come, it is incorrect. Ravi said that he would come, because Ravi said is the principal clause and where the main verb is said, which is in past. So that he would come is true. He will come will be incorrect, because it cannot have a verb in simple future if the main verb in the principal clause Ravi said, the verb said is in past. But if the verb is Ravi says, then it can be Ravi says that he will come, Ravi says that he comes, Ravi says that he came. All are correct as per the demand of the situation or as per the demand of the meaning. So this is what we call sequence of tenses, and these hold a very important place when it comes to direct and indirect speeches. And in question number 6 through 3 or 4, whatever number of the questions are, you are tested for reported speech. Especially they want to see whether you can turn correctly from direct to indirect, and especially the verb is to be filled in that particular blank, and there are certain changes that take place while changing from direct to indirect in the verb, and they want to see whether you can apply the changes correctly. So for that you need to understand the sequence of tenses, necessary to understand. Okay, fine. And in subject verb agreement, the main rule, the most important rule is a singular subject takes a singular verb and a plural subject takes a plural verb. So if you remember this rule and read a chapter a bit and practice the examples, or just do 1 or 2 exercises, you can easily go through it. So please keep in mind that there are 3 questions, question number 5, question number 6 and question number 7 in grammar. Question number 5 goes to minor chapters like determiners, models, etc. Might be prepositions if it were there. Now this year it is not. In question number 6, reported speech is tested. Sequence of tenses, the thing that you have to keep in mind. And under question number 7, syntax or subject verb agreement is given to you. So keep all these chapters and all these sections in grammar in mind, and see the best way and the most practical way to score the highest 76, 77, 78, might be 79, sometimes 80 even out of 80. And the best way to do so is practice, 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 because it is practice that makes a man perfect. Okay, the right strategy, being consistent, and just devoting hardly 45 minutes to 50 minutes to 1 hour every day on doing a set on English. Like suppose today I did the part A, the portion A, which is objective 1. Tomorrow you may go for subjective 1, part B. So this way, if we practice 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 sets, we are going to excel in English. And there must be many who still haven't started the preparation in the right way. And for them, even I say, please don't lose heart. And still you have 34, 35 days in your hands. And if you use them properly, and now onwards, if you become punctual, using each and every minute that is in your hands, and just practice 5 to 10 minutes grammar set every day, and then you just practice literature for 5 to 10 minutes in objective portion, and then give 15-20 minutes to one passage each day, and the remaining 30 to 40 minutes you can give to the subjective portion. Then this way you can still are in a position to score 72, 73, 74, 75 even, if you have been getting 60 only out of 80 earlier. So please gird up your loins. It's coming to you, and a man or woman is a real man or woman if they rise to the occasion. So please be ready, and I would like to greet you and just wish you on the occasion of Holi, which is a festival of colors, a great harvest festival. So do play Holi, do just be drenched in colors, but please keep yourself safe and sound so that you can prepare for the board exams in a very good way and face the exams. So write the paper well, and I wish you get your dreams come true. Like if you aim for 76, good, go for 76. 77, go for 77. If you want to, the kind of person you are that you want to aim for 80, yeah, kudos to you. So I hope you will work hard seriously and you are going to win, definitely. I wish you the best. Thank you very much for being with me. If you understood everything that I explained today, don't forget to like my video. And please subscribe my channel also, so that all the coming videos or the forthcoming videos will reach you. And see you very soon. Till then, bye. Thank you.